This morning is the annual question box sermon, which of course means it jumps around a few places. I'm going to talk in this reflection briefly about two similar questions that came, and they focus in on how divided our society is. One of them was, we live in a very divided society. How do we engage others in a loving way, especially when they make us angry or when they embrace things that we find disturbing or hateful? And related to that, perhaps even an example to that, is a question that's been raised by so much that's been going on in the past weeks. What about a woman's right to choose? What is the Unitarian Universalist view? And what's my opinion? An old mentor of mine gives this advice when it comes to the matter of how to address very controversial issues. Essentially, he says, take it in very small bites. When we work little by little, we can accomplish a great deal over time. See, the purpose of the church is to provide a crucible where we can move slowly enough to change minds and hearts. One of the terrible consequences of liberal religion not thriving is that there are fewer and fewer places where people can come together to put their concerns and their fears and their hopes and their dreams into that crucible of discernment. It's as if we live in a society where people are free to say at random and at will whatever they want, however hatefully they want to say. And it is curated on social platforms which are not monitored in any kind of realistic way. And I believe that means that more than ever, this church, First Church, is relevant in ways in this community that it has never equaled before. This is the time to bring people together and invite them into a crucible of understanding and discernment bound by community. I speak almost every Sunday about the beloved community. This, of course, is a reference to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he said very distinctly that the beloved community is a place where terror meets hope on the crossroads of destiny, where terror meets hope on the crossroads of destiny. That, I think, is how we begin to face things little by little, by committing to community, to being present with people who personally we may not even like very much, but from whom we have the potential to learn. On the matter of reproductive choice, since 1963, 10 years before reproductive choice was a reality in the United States, and before almost all other religious organizations, Unitarian Universalists have supported the rights of women and their freedom to make faithful choices about their bodies and their families. Our faith affirms the inherent forth in the dignity of every person, the right of every individual conscience in decision-making and respect of human life. The decisions about children, families, and sexuality are some of life's most profound decisions. We advocate not only for the freedom of those choices in each person's journey, but also for the ability of all families and all communities to realize a sense of wholeness. We create safe and healthy environments for children in our faith communities and campaign publicly for just and compassionate laws for family planning, reproductive health, and gender equality. Not since the days of Roe versus Wade has the pro-choice community faced so much opposition. It is time for us to participate as fully as we can, as we have started to participate with our whole lives, the educational curriculum on sexuality that we have developed in collaboration with the United Church of Christ. It's time for this congregation and others to think about the statement of conscience supporting choice that all of us are asked to support. That's how the crucible comes together. There were other questions in the question box. There were a couple of questions that are very practical, and I'll address those first. And then someone asked me what my favorite movie was and why. Well, I will indulge myself in that. And then finally someone asked, what can we do to best ensure the success of our new ministry, which is to begin? And that's what I'll talk about last. Now, the first two very practical and simple ones. Someone asked whether or not we will be continuing live streaming and having services on Facebook in the future, if the equipment will be here to do that. And the answer is very simply yes. That is part of the plan. It's something that your new minister wants to do, and we're in a position to do it. And second was an interesting question that I kind of forgotten about because it came at the beginning of my time here, and it was decided by the standing committee and announced, I think, at least once, that it was going to be put off for a year. But apparently there had been a decision to take one of our pews, which, as some of you can see, have worn material in them, and to try a new scheme of materials in it and to get everyone's input on that. So that's been delayed for a year and should be coming up next year, I guess. That to look forward to. Won't happen on my watch, though. So, what is my favorite film and why? Steven Spielberg briefly ruined the ocean for me and many people thanks to his 1975 Jaws, in which a great white shark terrorizes the sleepy New England beach town of Amity Island. This film, which was filled with some of the most primitive and worst special effects, and was almost unbelievable in its triteness, according to many critics, still engaged people in this country viscerally. Some say it was the music. Some say it was Spielberg's incredible timing with certain things. But it's hard not to develop a phobia of sharks after watching a 2-hour bloodbath where a rogue fish devours 5 people and 1 dog. Now, I have seen this movie 20 times, maybe more, and I realized that the true horror of the film, for me at least, does not play out in the blood-soaked waters, but actually in the cabin of a fishing boat. And this is a scene that begins innocently enough inside the Orca, which is the boat that they are using to hunt the great killer shark. Inside the Orca, Quint, the boat's captain, played by an acerbic Robert Shaw, regales marine biologist Matt Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, and the town's police chief, Martin Brody, played by Roy Sheepman, with stories about how he had earned his scars. You may remember Quint was scarred. We are reeled into this very gentle scene in this very homey cabin in soft light. And we know that troubling memories are about to come. Quint reaches out gently and he touches Hooper's arm, remarking that the scar is all he has left of a now removed tattoo of the USS Indianapolis. Hooper goes stiff and stays that way for several minutes as Shaw, being Captain Quint, delivers an iconic monologue detailing the sinking of the Indianapolis. What makes the scene so haunting, aside from Shaw's perfect delivery, is the fact that he is able to bring to his eyes an empty sense and a sour smile. You recall the story of the Indianapolis. It was returning from a mission in the Philippines where it delivered the bomb that would be dropped on Hiroshima, which hit and sunk, and of the nearly 1,200 crew people aboard, an estimated 20 went down with the ship. And the rest were in the water. And they didn't find this out until later, but there was no one looking for them because their mission was so secret that no one knew that they were even overdue. And so they were in the water, holding on to each other, and then came the sharks. This is how Quint describes it. The thing about shark is he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, it doesn't even seem to be living until he bites you, and then those eyes roll over clean, white. Then you hear a terrible pitch screaming, and the ocean turns red. 1,100 men went into the water. 316 came out. Sharks took the rest. much like Cooper and Brody in this mesmerizing scene. It leaves me unnerved and still and always wishing for dry land. What work do we need to do to make our youth ministry successful? Do not be like Jaws. Good ministers learn to maximize what they do well and compensate for what they do not do as well. And the congregation learns to fill in those areas where the minister cannot alone meet every conceivable need. That's why good ministers are successful. They have the help of the congregation to compensate for what they do not do well. So here's the first of the things you need to know to make your new shared ministry successful. First, the complete ministerial package is an illusion. Again, the congregation learns to fill in those areas where the minister cannot alone meet every conceivable need. My second point is that, of course, you hope you have a perfect fit between your new minister and this congregation from day one. But it will not happen on day one or day two. Your new minister will at first be an outsider, absolute outsider. Doesn't know the ways of church and history, doesn't know the players, and there's no reliable program, doesn't know how Salem works, and what needs to happen here, doesn't know who to talk to, a stranger. And it takes a while. In fact, it takes quite a while for a new minister to find a firm footing, to move confidently through her work, to conduct an unfamiliar worship service, to be a strong voice in committee meetings. And let's make no mistake, this congregation is filled with strong voices. And it will take time for her to become a strong voice. Committee meeting, parish politics, to even negotiate the coffee hour, the social time, successfully. And even to be completely effective at the hands of the gravely ill. Will everyone recognize that the new minister requires some time getting into step with the congregation, and that the congregation will need time to adjust to its new minister? I can already safely predict that some people, not you of course, but some people will lose patience. They will say to you, oh, that's different. I'm not coming back. And my best advice to you is to let them go. Remember also, the need for adjustment is a two-way street. Your new minister is bringing new ideas, new energies, and a completely new style. I mean, after all, the first woman in 390 years to serve this congregation. The adjustment of a minister and a congregation is organic, not mechanical. It grows. Now let me just briefly summarize. You will not get all of the requisite ministerial qualities in one person, and that does not mean you have a defective minister. It does mean there's plenty of room for the ministry of the congregation to take hold and to be exciting. You will not get someone who will be a perfect fit. You will not get someone you will fall in love with right away, nor will your new minister be able to even love you right away. It takes time. Like every good thing in life, it takes time. And you have to approach it one small bite at a time. Amen.